Hello and welcome to another show, Quick One Wakili show. We have a special today with friends of our friend Mutua, and also my friends by extension. So I'll introduce myself and Mutua, and then I'll invite each one of them to just tell us who they are and what they do. My name is Johnson Kariuki, and this is Mutua wa Mutuku. Or is it the other way around?
Yeah, it's that way. That's I don't need to introduce stuff. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll start with Magunga.
My name is Magunga Williams. I am a writer and photographer and content creator. I went to school with these guys though. I studied law, but I did not pursue it further than university. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My name is Martin Laitha, advocate. Do I have to say where I work?
Yeah, tell us what you do.
Yeah,
What is it you do?
Yes, I'm an advocate. I practice law.
Uh-huh.
I have to say which one?
You can say if you feel like
Yeah, okay.
kama mnaosha pesa useme
Harasmaita sana.
So, I practice law under the firm of Buluch and Maitha, Advocates NLP. Yes,
hivyo.
that's it.
Sawa.
My name is Oscar Mokundi Kariuki. I'm from Embu County. No, someone told me that it's good to advertise your place. So, yeah, I practice law as well under the firm of Kitty Kariuki and Ngugi Law LLP here in Nairobi. Our offices are at KMA Center in Upper Hill. And you're all welcome if you require legal service. So yeah, we went to school with these guys. They are my good friends.
Hi, my name is Bob Otieno, advocate of the High Court of Kenya. I work for Mudgor and Mudgor. I'm from Homa Bay County. I have known Mutua from 2014.
We've known each other.
Yes, each other. Mutua, Magunga, Maitha, and Oscar since 2014.
2010, bro.
2010. Yeah, 2010. I am
Or
sorry.
maybe you didn't know them
No,
through school.
actually,
Maybe you knew them
we
after.
were, you know me, I joined the gang later. Yeah, so that's why in my mind it is in 2014. But I've known them since 2010. Yes.
Okay, hi people. My name is Josephine Oyombe. I've known Mutua and Johnson. We worked together in a law firm before, KN Law. And so we've been friends since 7 years ago and still counting. Personally, I work at a law firm, Oyombe and Company Advocates, and what else? Yeah, we are all professional colleagues. The rest of the friends here, we've
Neighbors.
interacted, we are neighbors.
Bashes.
Bashes, na kadhalika. So influencing, you know,
Good
So Kariuki, just before we get into it,
Yeah.
there are quite a number of boys who are not here. James Mbugo is not here. Paul Wafula is not here, and Kibaki. What's Kibaki's first name?
Christopher.
Oh, Christopher Kibaki is not
Christopher
here.
Ndoro Kibaki.
Yes.
So for the introductions, those are the boys.
Okay.
Yeah, and Nigerian is not here as well.
She's also a boys.
She's my boy.
Leo wewe ni boys.
Yeah.
So ongeza base.
Aya, endelea na show.
Aya, sasa let's talk about our first interactions. The first time you met. So you are going to be the focal point now.
Okay.
So what's your first interaction with Mutua and with each other? If there's something funny that comes out somewhere. And I'll start with Maitha.
First interaction with you.
Yeah.
He was a fashionista on campus.
No, that's just
Oh,
the first
with-
interaction.
with-
Was it?
Yeah.
He's painting an image.
Yeah.
Oh,
Let him bring it home.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
so he was a fashionista. So dressed gisty.
Yeah.
Me on the other hand, I was on the far end of the spectrum. Me, I used to go to class in pajamas. Naamka tu asubuhi navaa tu vile nataka.
Yeah.
So it was very contrasting. You see someone putting in effort. Mimi nimeamka tu vile nimekuja tu class hivyo. I think we met in Kenya.
no, we had met earlier, but the interactions are not that close. Yes, but KMUN, that's when
Yeah, met in Kenya in uni. We were both members of KMN, and then we just became friends. Then akasaidia kidogo kwa upande wa fashion.
Sasa tunaona unavaa all black.
Kwenda shule.
We thank God. Ni God.
What's KM? We went for our young viewership.
Yes, Kenya Model United Nations. We try to simulate what the United Nations does. So there are different organs of the UN, like the General Assembly, the ILC, International Labour Commission. There was even a moot competition as well. So yeah, that's where we are.
And we won that edition. There's an edition we won at Strathmore. We're in the same team. Myself, you. No, I remember. Myself, you, Tosh, and Mula. What's Wambui Mula? We're in the same team.
It's funny you guys call our boy Mula. That's Mula.
That's what.
Actually, I know her as Mula, by the way. So I'm always surprised when you say it's not Mula.
What is she called?
Lillian.
Lilia.
And where did the name Mula come from?
Lilia, boy.
Where did the name Mula come from?
She loves Jamban.
So it's Mueller, the footballer. I see.
Okay.
I see. Hiyo kitu KMU nimekusaidia aje kwa practice ukiangalia?
I would love to say this.
Yeah. What do you mean?
Okay, we just realized that international law doesn't work. I mean, look at Israel right now. I'm just saying, they're floating every convention onto one. So, personally, I think it helped me to realize that this thing doesn't work. So, why bother in the first place? But that's just me.
We'll get back to that. Oyombe. How do you remember Mutua?
How the first time we met Mutua. So the first time I met Mutua was, as I've said, we met in our professional capacity where we used to work. So sometime in 2018, we had our previous law firm. I don't know whether I need to mention names.
You can mention it.
I can mention. So back then, there's a team where I used to work. The law firm was Sisule Munye and Kilonzo. So we had some transitions and we had a merger with a law firm called KN.
Yeah, you joined our law firm.
Yeah, where I joined the law firm, where Mutua and
That was
Johnson. 2017.
Yeah.
Yes, 2017.
Around May.
Yeah, 2017. So
First
the
of May, actually.
first interaction, we since we were merging, we had this get together of the team from the other side and the team from KN. So we come meet on a weekend, and I think it was a holiday because the office had to be prepared, set up, and as a team, we were coming to figure out, okay, this is where we'll be practicing. And so he was very friendly, stylish, as usual. Kitu wewe msee ni style. Nakwambia luku nayo kuchapa.
Ni jini
Ni
mkamba.
mtu wa luku hawezi kosa. So he was very friendly. We just kicked it out from there. And here we are. Yeah.
Magunga.
So my interactions with our friend Mutua was outside the realms of law. And that's it, tulikuwa to extracurricular stuff because campus politics.
Hata Kenya extracurricula
Hizo na bado unasoma.
Sasa campus politics na KVN, you know. We had a friend, a mutual friend called Ademba Rocco.
Okay.
Yeah. So Ademba Rocco was kind of like my godfather in campus or something. So we were mutual friends. He loved rugby, but I didn't used to play rugby. Nilikuwa nakuja tu naambiwa you're playing position gani? Wing. Sasa wewe chukua mpira toka mbio uende. Yeah. So and then outside of that, I mean, like I said, campus politics, SONU, and then I joined KNSS. Pool table, yeah. So hapo ndio nilikuwa tumeshinda sana. So I don't think we had an academic interaction. We've always been friends outside.
Academics.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
And of course, sasa when he joined, like everyone is saying, the first person to come I ever saw outside of a Maasai wearing those kilted things. And he was so brave wearing these things. And I used to
That's
think,
so-
man, like, what the hell? What is wrong with this boy?
And his mugs.
You know, in first year, when you join Campo, bro, you are a first year ndo umefunzwa introduction to law, unaanza kujiita learned friend. You know? So, hapo tulikuwa tunavaa nini? Nilikuwa nakuja law school. Unaona? So, before nikuje, mamangu alikuwa amenibaia suti. Shati imepigwa pasi mpaka
Inaweza kata nzi.
inaweza kata.
Yeah.
So mimi nimekuja very serious profession. Alafu unaona mtu sijui mara kilted skirts, sijui mara nini vitu za zile wardrobe za Waislamu na yesi Waislamu. Unaona?
On a Friday or on a Tuesday.
Hiyo una maana.
Ukasema una Sunday.
Yeah. But that's been our friendship and it stayed. So mpaka sahi now love whiskey. So today I'm hot
Thank you.
chocolate.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Mr. Karaoke.
Well, I think my experience is similar to that of Magunga, because I can't even put a pin on when we became friends with Mutua, but I recall Mutua is this kind of person who is able to have he's in many things at the same time. So when there was Parklands, is it Cultural Week? He was very active. When it was a question of stylish dressing, and of course when you're young, you're looking at the trends, though his trends were of his own, of his own kind. We couldn't, no one else could keep up. Of course there was rugby, and also through rugby, Mutua was a very good friend of James. James, who is also a master friendship maker. So James is everyone's friend. So I think that through those interactions and just having a good time in campus, somehow we found some mutuality somewhere and became friends, and we've been friends ever since. Yeah.
You mentioned cultural week. In first year,
Yes.
the people on this table who went from Mr. Parkland.
Who was it? You did.
He did.
You did.
You also did.
Oh yes. Sasa mmekuja tulikuwa
Nani alishinda? Ama mlipigwa?
Katisia Kinengo number 2.
He was number 3, but Katisia. He's the
Kitui County.
Just like that.
Mr. Parklands nowadays is speaker Kitui County.
Good stuff.
Vivo too. Vivo too.
Bob.
If you ask me when I knew Mutua and when our friendship started, I can't trace it back. It just happened, and mostly it's through mutual friends. I was roommates with James Ogenga, if you know him, and Mwai Mugo. And Mwai Mugo knew him, and then Mutua is just all over, and then he's colorful. There's no way you can miss out on Mutua. So you'd see him when Mutua is around. You'd say, "There is Mutua." And over time, I remember during Christopher's Kibaki's wedding, that is when we had a serious conversation about genuine friendship, what we need to do together, the activities to keep us together. So from that, we had so many things. We started even having football matches and all that, and meeting together just to make the friendship bond stronger. And here we are today.
Kwanza, me I have a funny story
I've
about
heard there's
Bob.
before you say your story, there's a running theme of everyone, either mutuality or mutual, just like Mutua.
Good one, Oscar. That's a good one.
Let me tell a funny story about Bob.
Yeah.
So we went to Coastal back in Campo for these there were games.
That's a bad story to tell.
I mean, no.
Oh
What
my
did you
God.
do? What did you do?
Oh, yeah.
Are there some photos first before you proceed?
No, but no, I'm not telling that story. I'm telling that story.
Oh, there's another story.
So we go to Coast. Chomoka, get to Coastal. We play the games. Was it in Kilifi?
Yes.
Pwani University.
Yes, Pwani University, Kilifi.
Yeah.
I remember it was very hot.
It was very hot. Then myself,
Yes.
another friend of ours called Timothy Mutambuki, and Bobby. We thought we were very clever. So we go to some kibanda and kula some bad pilau. Bad pilau.
No, it was not pilau. It was some Ugandan cuisine. Huge chunks of meat. I still remember.
Yeah.
Like 4 blocks would almost be half a kg of meat served, and they were cheap. So kind of.
So we do that. The time you're coming back to Nairobi, that bus was stopping everywhere. Like,
Not for me.
so myself, Bobby, and Timothy,
Yeah.
we had an experience.
Had a drive.
Yeah.
A membership drive.
I drive on the little drive.
Not the bus.
Yeah. The bus.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Interesting.
So, do we do the traditional thing about school? No.
That's going to take so much
That's
time.
going to take so much time. What do you think are the intricate skills that keep a friendship? Let me start with the lady.
Okay.
Yeah.
Intricate
I've just
what am I
nimetumia tu kitu stupid. What are the skills you think that keep
skills
or the
for
things you need to do to keep a friendship over a long period of
Okay.
time?
I think to be friends or to keep that friendship, number one, regular communication, being in touch. Why? You will ask me, Akina Mutua and you people and the rest, why are we friends anyway? Because we've sustained communication, checking on each other on a regular basis. We work together. Right now, we are not working together. We went separate ways.
Yeah.
But here we are. Why? Because we keep getting in touch, we check on each other. We attend events together, legal activities together, social activities together, and we influence each other and build each other up. So I think the major thing that I can say, communication, checking up on each other, supporting each other, because through that communication, through checking up on each other, tunajua tunasupportianaje. I can be low, I can need something. I'm vulnerable enough to reach out to you as my friends and tell you guys, nahitaji support. Niaje, so those are the things that sustain friendships, in my view.
Magunga, I'll invite you to speak a little about that, but also tell us how many of your classmates you've stayed friends with.
So actually, I think I was thinking about it the other day. Not many, and I think I will chalk it up to the fact that I didn't practice, so we don't necessarily meet. We are not in touch. But with these guys, we are even on our WhatsApp group together. We kept the friendship going from university. So in as much as I don't practice, and we don't see each other outside of our we still keep in touch. But also, like she said, most friendships for us, it's about just intentionality. It's about being there for one another through thick and thin, high and low. So that's been the nature of our friendship from campus to now. Just coming through for one another. Kama ni kusaidiana attendance.
Kununuliana pombe.
To going for each other's relationships, to being there for one another through thick and thin. I mean, the bonds just keep getting stronger by the day. Yeah. So actually, I'm so glad this episode is being shot on a weekend. So kila mtu amevaa casual. Usually, when we meet midweek,
Everybody else is in a suit.
ako na suit, and then there is always me.
Sometimes me.
Sometimes
It's always because
Yeah,
you
a hoodie,
Yeah,
and a jumpsuit. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, and you can always tell there is a curve. You can see the running theme and then like,
Someone still has a suit, so
Saturday.
On a Saturday.
Exactly.
But at least it's a flamboyant
At least,
one.
at least he has a silk shirt.
Good stuff. Karaoke. Now let's talk about how easy it's been to call your friends when you're in shit or in need. Like, is it very easy to just pick up your phone and just call the people you call friends?
Well, yes, I think, I think we always, and I always call on to my friends when I need help. I think what I have learned or realized as one of the major benefits of a group of friendship is that I think as you grow older, friendships tend to be a bit more burdensome. So there are so many other things that people are juggling. So if you just have a singular friend, it's possible. But if you just have one person who is your bestie and you load up every experience you're having to them, sometimes it strains the friendship. So one of the benefits I've learned of having a friendship, a network of guys that sort of have some commonalities, especially ourselves, because I think we're around 7. So realize that within that group, you have people who will help you for different kinds of needs. So maybe it's relationship need. I know there are some people who may not be well.
Don't go through the corners. Don't go through the corners.
Not for any reason, less experienced than one other friend. If it's a question of how to manage finances, there's another friend who's probably a bit more able to assist. And of the nature of personalities is that some certain personalities will mesh better than others. So you find there's, within the group of friends, there's friends who are more friendlier, for lack of a better word, than others, but then it becomes interconnected and beautiful. So I think within that group, I found a lot of comfort and a lot of help when I needed it. Yeah.
Good stuff. Now, Mike, have you had different friends at different points of your life and career?
Yes, absolutely. And it's one of the things, actually become our deputy president. I'm an honest man. Although some, especially this group, we call it racist. But I'm an honest man. The truth of the matter is, just to borrow from Oscar, you have different friends for different things. And I agree. Please repeat, like when you said you have different friends for different points in the career.
In life, really.
It's true.
You have a best friend at 18, and then at 24, they're not your best friend anymore. So
It happens. And part of the things, I think, fairly recently, I think you all aware of what happened to me recently. And one of the things which kept on recurring, especially when my relatives were asking me, how come you have such a diverse friend? Because there were people from primary school who came in, people from high school who came, there were you guys, the guys in the professional career. I don't want to use this word, but it kind of has to be said, compartmentalizing. Maybe we have friends for different things. Like, of course, when other watu mnajua kila sherehe tunapiga sherehe, very nice. But if I'm stuck in a jam, like, yes, I love you, but sherehe isn't where you are right now. So unfortunately, I have a friend who will come to me or come through for me at that time. But I know because it seemed to be sherehe, I may not have fun times with a person.
fun time.
Same thing to professional career. Like there are some people who you know professionally, they're great, they help you, but you never see each other outside the social setting. Ikifika 5 or 1 p.m. anasema it imeisha hapo. Whereas, even on the professional level, yes, there are guys who, again, after 5 or 1, you go for the cocktails. But if it's 10, 11, and you ask them, hey, boss, kuna president here, boss, then you realize, okay, this is not someone reliable to come to professionally, so rather split.
Johnson,
Yes.
a quick one.
Yes.
Niko na kiulizo.
Sema quick one wakili kama unataka kuuliza.
A quick one, Wakili.
Yes.
Now, just based on the question you asked, friendships and having different friends for different reasons, does it mean you'd be a bad friend or be a friend who is a user? Because if you're having a friend for a particular reason, are you just a user or what is? How do you? How to? No.
No, Bob will answer.
No.
Bob will respond.
No.
And someone else who has something else to
It's
say.
actually Johnson who asked, so I'm asking.
You're asking me.
Like what you asking in terms of if I'm having friends for, like I have a friend to give me money. I have a friend to maybe do sherehe with. I have a friend who, when I'm stuck with a quick one, and then he thought a quick one, does it make you a user or does it make you a good friend?
Okay.
And for friendships, we're talking friendships.
Yeah.
What is as in, how do we sustain good friendships, healthy friendships without necessarily with balancing, so that in as much as we can have those different category of friends, but then how do you leverage on all those categories?
Okay.
Can you take that one?
Yeah, take that one and then I'll just say something.
No,
Let's start with Bob.
Go first.
Let's start with Bob. Yeah.
You know, the seven of us,
Yeah.
the ones who we've mentioned, our friendship is like a buffet. So what I get from Bagunga is different from what I get from Oscar, Mutua, and Maitha. But they're all important. There are things, if I wanted to discuss, I would look at one of my friends, who do I need to have a sit down with? Doesn't necessarily mean I'm using you. Basically, it's how we listen to each other, how we relate, and all that. Same way, if there are issues I would want to talk to Mutua, I would look at Mutua. What is the nature of our relationship? But then again, when we meet together, you just see that we have common characteristics, certain common personalities. So it's not a question of using people and how to sustain the friendship. Basically, Bagunga mentioned it. You really have to be intentional. Sometimes just pick up your phone and call and ask, how are you doing? Is everything okay? And all that. And plus you have to be, for me, consistency in friendship is very important. Yesterday I was with Magunga and he was telling me that you see, there are people you call and they tell you they're coming, you know they're coming. And there are people you call, they tell you they're coming, you'll be like,
You're not
okay,
sure.
you're not so sure. So it's important to also know your friends so that in certain situations, you know, this guy would react faster. Yeah, so that's how I put it.
Bagunga, you had something to say.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it takes all sorts to make a world, yeah? And everybody cannot be everything to everybody else.
Yeah.
You know, everyone has their strong points, there are people who have their weaknesses. So leveraging on your friends' strong points for certain benefits, there is nothing wrong with that. Use the term using, and I don't see any problem using your friends. Because it is part of being friends, that I can rely on you on certain things, and then you can also rely on me for certain things. So I know sometimes when you use certain words, you might it might always come off as bad, but for me, I always have to take a step back and what's wrong with me using Maitha for something? You know, our friendship has ended. It's been 14 years, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. It always becomes a problem when you rely on others, but nobody can ever rely on you. Now that becomes a problem. That becomes a problem. But if people can rely on you as much as you rely on them, that's literally what friendship is. Yeah, and that's why we are seated on these couches for 14 years or some people 7 years later, and we can still have this conversation.
And maybe just to, I don't know if it's a spanner in the works or something, but this is debatable. But I usually, in my assessment, find male friendships to be a little more functional than lady friendships.
This one is going in.
Yeah, and just from my observation, because like the 7 of us, if you would ask of certain, if you just do a scientific data collection, how often do you call, and then you do a replica of 7 female friends and ask the same questions, you realize that the needs to sustain the lady friendships in terms of interactions are a little more.
Yeah.
You know, ladies tend, well,
From experience.
your words, not mine. But you find that, you see, lady friendships tend to require more communication, there's more sharing, there's less circles, there's more nakedness, there's, you know, male friendship, sometimes even if you are to be a little vulnerable, you have to invite Glenn Phillips as a third friend. You have to invite a third friend to just, you know, prompt the vulnerable conversation. So, but I think all that Bob and Ogunga have said is that there's a reciprocating of effort that is required, in as much as you may have different friends for different things, and that may not necessarily mean that it's just relying on.
Oyombe will comment, but Mike, you had a point.
Yes, actually, I have 2 points. One, I would want to disagree with Oscar because I don't think that's true. To build on Magunga, the thing of reciprocity and everything. Part of when you say, I don't like the word she used, yes. I would rather use the word sure, which is what Wafula, if he was here, would say, always sure. And showing up means showing up in the best version of yourself, 100%. Like, yes, just back to my example, like now for example, if I'm with my friend for Sherehe, like yes, we know it is Sherehe, but I give 100% to the Sherehe. Yes, so that it doesn't look like, even if you are there for fun times for Sherehe, like I'm not putting you at a disadvantage or anything. Like I'm giving 100% to what we have. Same thing, reciprocity is important. At that time saying, I don't like the word use. Maybe Magunga has clarified it better. But if I am your friend, for whatever reason, or like even if you are big friends like that, showing up 100%. Like if I'm putting in 100%, I would expect as well. I will put up the 100%. If I'm putting up 100% and you're putting up 50, 60, in whatever sphere it is, I will feel some type of way. That's where resentment comes in. That's where disagreement comes in. Now, to disagree with those guys is part of that. Maybe I wouldn't say it's a male versus female thing. I think it's a person thing. It is who you are as a person to determine what kind of friendship you want to be. And that brings back to Magunga's point of intentionality. Yes, you may feel that you may, with my boys, if I start saying that, mazee unajua, hii Nairobi inanipiga dust, kwa mama wananipiga dust.
Wamekupiga.
Wamekupiga dust. Wamenipiga dust.
Ama pia umewapiga.
If I speak, I'm in big trouble. I don't have big trouble. So, but anyway, that sense of vulnerability, it doesn't matter whether you are a man or a woman, you know. The thing is, do you trust yourself to have these conversations? And more importantly, do you trust your friends that you can be vulnerable with them in that situation? For me, I think it's fairly easy. It doesn't matter whether I have a male or female friend. I know myself, I'm secure in myself, so I can be vulnerable with whoever I am. Of course, depending on where we are as a friend. So, like, I'm not going to start telling someone I met 2 weeks ago that, hey, mazee, maisha ni mpoga dust. But you know, but you guys, 14 years of friendship, I'm going through a lot of help me.
But karaoke, just to point, to make the point just close home, we get away from the abstractness of it. I've called different people here for different reasons, and that tells you. It's because there are certain strengths. I will not call Maitha for relationship advice.
Na yeye mwambie wewe unampigia kwa financial. Haraka haraka.
I'm trying to be a good friend.
But I will call I'll call Oscar and ask him, hey, this is happening, you know, right? I will call Magunga for this kind of advice,
Fashion.
the creative side of it. When you want to have a bowl, choma nyama, whiskey. When I want my people around, right? I will call you when. No, I will not call you. Right?
It's okay.
When I have a matter that is litigious.
I'm very safe.
When I have a matter that is
Myself.
litigious, and I'm not asking. When I have a matter that is litigious, Bobby. Nyaji. Oh, he's called Bob. Oh, we call him Bobby. Bob, have you done such kind of a matter before? When I'm in the office, I'm stuck with a government contact. Hi, Gio. How are you doing? Can I get this? It's not I'm using you. I know that's the strongest point. That's where I'm going.
Siseme when you call me Pia.
Mimi nashangaa.
Wait.
We need a guest for the show.
Whiskey,
Sema tu.
golf.
Good stuff. Sasa, but J.O., before you speak, you asked me a question. And you know, a long time ago when I was younger, I used to play a lot of PS. Yeah, I've had very many friends over my lifetime for different reasons. So like, there's these guys from high school, four, five. We always used to play PS when I had just left school. So sometimes my very good friends from campus and from life would come to my house and find like those 4 or 5 strangers, but they'll stay there for the night and the next day they are gone. They'll never call, they'll never do anything until there's another sleepover somewhere where you're going to play PS. As you all have said, there are times when you will need a contact, you know who to call. There are times you will need to talk to someone about things going on in your life, you know who to call, and maybe as Karaoke said, introduce a third friend, and it makes the relationship and the conversation easier. So I wouldn't call it using, call it show up. That's just nomenclature, but you know exactly what you need from someone and who to call. But also for yourself, you're called for different reasons. There are people who only call me when they want a president. I consider them my friends. I consider them. I am called by so many people. Do you have this contract? Do you have this blah 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 blah? There are guys who will call you to invite you for fun times. There are others who will invite you for a good drive. And all of them are your friends because all these aspects create a friendship and a life that is worth living, you know. But now let's talk about something Karaoke spoke about. He said female relationships are harder to keep than, or harder to maintain than
He
male
was
ones.
trying to avoid the wide high maintenance.
Is it true? Have you found it to be true? Since you're both friends with male and female.
Okay.
But also we also have some female friends. So
And that's why it's
so we'll say if you have something else to
No, I think
if you have something else to
I think
add,
what Oscar meant, like male friends vis-a-vis, where female, not female male, female friends.
Okay.
So she's the only
so you're the only
benefit of that experience.
Okay, so thank you, Oscar. And as the female representative in the room, of course, I'll talk about our friendships. Number one, I think for female friendships, because we've already categorized male friendships, female friendships on a separate level. So for females, I think our friends are beautiful in the sense that we are vulnerable with each other. We love gossip. We love oversharing, you know?
And crying
We love
together.
intimacy, crying together.
And going to the washroom
You
together.
know, going to the
sharing lipstick.
Makeup together. What else? Sherehe together and all those. Relationship dramas, this advice, and wow. So in essence, through that vulnerability, we're able to, you know, in a way, it's therapeutic. If your girl is stressed, your babe is stressed, you're able to sort her out. And so we're able to maintain that friendship for a long time. Now, where does the complication come in? Or that high maintenance issue come in? It comes in because as females, I think we're just different creatures altogether, but we are beautiful, majestic, you know. I don't know, I'm sure you'll tell us the beautiful words, but all in all, what I'm saying is, in our beings, we are normally so emotional. We have our female problems going on. We have our cycles, so in our cycles, we have different seasons. At times we are happy, at times we are sad, at times, you know, through the different seasons, they affect our relationships in the sense that one time I'll be emotional, so maybe we might quarrel. I was given this gossip. I didn't keep the secret. I've gone and told out on my friend. Such things
You have
will
to pay for
interfere
it.
with friendships, you know. Maybe again misbehaving as friends, unapata dem fulani amevuka na mwanamume wa wenyewe. You know, such things will be the ones that will cause all those dynamics and damage friendships when it comes to ladies. And then the other thing, I think I've also experienced this from a personal level, from my personal friendships. I'm not accusing my friends of being petty. Even myself, I've also been petty in some situations, and this pettiness has also cost me friendship, you know. So that is the high maintenance, in the sense that even relationship wise, because for the friendships, I think I want to categorize them in, yes, there's the male friendships, there's the female friendships, and then there's also the male and female friendships, which maybe we'll come to. So for the male beings, you people are never emotional per se. Women, we are accused of attaching strings all over. So even in these beautiful friendships we have as women, we still attach strings, in the sense that we are so emotional and all that. For you people, I want to believe, maybe you'll give me your perspective as men, but I want to believe you don't attach those strings. So you're able to be just boys, you know. For vulnerability, you are not vulnerable enough. So maybe that gives you that advantage to have longer lasting relationships compared to female friendships, which are also relations, you know. So that would be my comment with regard to that.
Well said. I think just to before Magunga goes, what I think is also that's a very good analysis. What I think Maitha was trying to emphasize is that there's a lot of value in that vulnerability that should be championed amongst men. I don't know where I read, but that women outlive men by around 7 years. So, and I think partly it's because of how we go experiencing life and life's experiences. So I think what from a mental health and then emotions and vulnerability perspective, I think one of the things that we need to emphasize is that male friendships also need to have more of that nakedness and vulnerability a little more.
But maybe my group of friends are not the yardstick for what male friendships are, or either that, or we have a misguided, archaic view of male friendships. Because you see all those things you said about female friendships, I can assure you that we do all those things.
Are you people vulnerable?
Yes, to each other.
Or is it a degree?
Let me tell you, even that risky sometimes is not even necessary.
Okay,
You're talking
nice.
about
Good
women
to
being
know.
vulnerable with one another. We are vulnerable with one another.
Good.
You're talking about gossip. Maybe we don't call them gossip.
Uh-huh.
We call it catch up. It's catch up.
Tell them yesterday we were being very vulnerable.
You say that, oh, women love gossip. I mean, bro, have you sat down where men are talking? It's just that we will not call it gossip.
Gossip,
And I
but
think
there's some gossip.
it is because of certain stereotypes.
It's catch up and sports.
That became introduced by media and whatever it is that now defined is women talk is called gossip, and then male talk is called locker
Catching
room
up.
talk. Locker room talk. or whatever it is.
Yes.
No. Locker room, no. No.
The gist of the conversations are usually the same.
Yeah.
Unaona?
Hapana.
It is
Hapana.
always the same, and we always talk about these things. I'm not lying to you. He's vehemently opposing, but it is the
Na
truth.
yo usunguka.
And you know, that's why I started
And
by
then a
saying.
kidingi gossip.
That's why I started by saying that
Yeah.
maybe my male friendships are not the yardstick of male friendships, or the way we view male friendships is completely different from. You know, all those, because those conversations about this guy did this did this, this has happened. Have you heard? You know, it's always you.
Mnafanya
Physical.
kazi. Lakini where you draw the line, you don't cry with each other.
Let me throw a
You see the way people are reacting.
Uh-huh.
Exactly. What you
Songa.
guys don't think that men do, we do.
Okay.
Okay? It's
Good
just
to know.
we're not too open about
Okay.
doing certain things. Yeah.
Mm.
Because we have seen each other's tears here.
Good to know. Good to
A
know.
A lot of
Yeah.
tears have been.
We've seen each other's tears here.
Yeah, good to
So
know. Good
it's
to know.
not that men don't. I don't know who came up with this. Who tried to
Men cry.
Nasianga, si
and then this thing when
Sijui
people say,
it's
oh,
wrong.
women
They
are
shed
more
tears.
emotional.
Men shed tears, we don't cry.
Unalianga ikirudi ndani.
When you say ati women are emotional, I'm like, ama sisi hizi vitu ni too extreme.
Ama
Ama
pengine nyinyi ni women.
Do you have
Pengine nyinyi
a
ni
monthly
women.
cycle?
Yeah.
Do you have a monthly cycle to go through the phases where?
No, we don't.
Actually,
Your moody at
but
times,
actually,
sometimes you're happy.
do you know scientifically a man has 2 cycles a day,
Which cycle?
in the morning and in the evening?
Okay, tell us.
Scientifically.
Tell me as a
No, scientifically. We can discuss this. We can discuss
Which research? Me have to show up.
I want to hear this.
Sorry.
Scientifically, you do.
Yeah, I know,
That's why-
I know what this is getting.
That's no.
What's the science?
No. Let's leave that out.
I will explain to you.
Our viewers can go and Google. Yeah.
When you talk about emotions, exactly what are you talking about? Because emotions, it's a very wide array of emotions. So which ones are you talking
I think
about?
maybe frequency of is a better way to put it.
Okay, yeah.
Because ladies actually almost call each other daily.
Yeah.
On
Safaricom are cons, but like Airtel is expensive.
you see,
Even me, I don't want to call it.
I think I called James every day.
But
There's no difference in
when is the last time maybe you would have asked just a practical question that in your verse called either one of us for a phone call for 30 minutes or an hour?
Yeah.
Rarely. No.
Really?
Isn't it very
No,
frequent?
I'd rather do this. I'll call you niseme tupatane masehemu. Tutaongea for 3 hours. But I'm not gonna
But even if you're going to meet Masehemu, how frequently?
But you still can't do Masehemu
When
every day.
That's what I'm saying.
But they don't do that every day either.
We do.
But these
With all your friends, with
But at least with
With your
particular
best
friends.
friends, close
Exactly.
friends,
Yeah.
yeah, you talk for hours.
Because
And
some
even-
things are not practical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we can pick it up.
Sasa.
Tumefanya?
That's 40 minutes plus 13 minutes.
But tulikuwa na moment tulisimama sawa.
Yeah, 40 plus.
So we'll do another 20-25.
20-25 and then we're done. Yeah. And then as we do the last as we do the last one, you can say you're fine. I think we can give that how much
And you can say what?
she's
I'm not
fine.
here for that. Oh, you can just say so.
No, let her have fun.
Me, I'm here for that.
No, what I'm saying.
When she's posting, she'll post it. She'll post it and talk about it.
Before election.
This is great.
Nah, but
As
it's
soon as
a
Monday.
I can pay opportunity.
Sasa
But then you can start one go a day friendship.
I'll just ask at the end
Okay.
who I will see what to ask.
Okay.
So be ready.
so let's let this
Na utupee pesa ya campaign.
Jawabea.
Pesa ya campaign bana.
Hey! campaign.
Like 5 or 6 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you have a latecomer.
Oh man.
Yeah, so introduce yourself.
Obviously, my deepest apologies. My name is
We hear you.
Robert.
Yeah.
I'm a recovering lawyer, so
What does that mean?
it means in my past I was a lawyer. First I was a lawyer.
Yeah.
So currently I run a company called Cherehani, and we are a lending business. We provide loans to so many own businesses.
Ah.
Yeah, in about 14 counties. That's a recovering lawyer, but yeah, thanks.
So how do you know me?
So Ken used to dress really funny.
Call me Ken.
Ken.
Yeah, so I
Even
knew
the
Ken through his interesting or nice fashion sense.
Kila mtu, yaani
Yeah,
unajulikana.
in a large brown funny bag.
Oh yeah, by the way.
What did you use to place in there? What were you carrying in that big bag?
So that was
Hey, it was so big. What was it? What was it?
Not gym kit, laptop.
Hii maneno ya kuweza sisi tuliona kwa tendo
You guys are confusing me. Odis is wondering who's Ken, who's Mutua. Wondering who.
Si Ken. Si Ken.
Anyway, tuendelee.
Kennedy, yeah. Continue. Umemaliza?
Yeah,
That's your recovery journey.
that's my recovery journey.
Okay.
Almost
sasa.
done with it.
Very good. So I'll ask you the first question of the day. Since umefika sahi, in your friendships, how do you balance differing opinion and strengths? Like for instance, you might have someone who will find it so easy to cry, and then you'll have another guy who will tell him, "Hey, grow up." Wanaume wafanyangi hivyo. You'll have so many views. Somebody is in UDA, another one is in. How do you balance those interests to keep the friendship alive? You know.
I think that's interesting from, let's say, from a legal perspective, because then I find that lawyers really enjoy banter and arguing and pushing. So what that for me means is that I argue to push, right? I argue to poke ideas or to just push someone into a corner. For not ideally to counter your opinions or your ideas, but just to push you and test the strength of your conviction. So I don't approach friendships with the idea of trying to change someone's perspective of who they are, what they think, how they think. It's just how strong is this guy convicted in his beliefs or in his ideas. So I really enjoy that. So I think that's how I look at it.
Anyone with something?
Yeah,
to add
can I
on
say
that?
something?
Yeah.
I think I found a home here where I sit down with these people and their opinions I can't air out there. Yes, they are. I mean, for political correctness, for being cancelled, I find a home in these people. I sit down. We can have a go at each other. You tell me what you think. I tell you what I think. I tell you my deepest convictions. I tell you my school of thought, and we have a go at each other. I call them locker room talk. That's why I was having a different. When Magunga said, So I find a home here where I can have. I don't want to use that word. I can have blasphemous conversations with these people, and they won't judge me.
Are you sure they don't? You judge and then say I do. Bob, una kitu ya kusema?
It's just a small thing, differing opinions, criticisms from friends. It's friendly fire. Choma neo, but you sit back and say it comes from a place of love, of genuine concern, of trying to make you better. That's how I see it.
Me, I'll judge you, but also
Loudly.
yes, and not that they call me racist. But the thing is, even
on that. I think part of, I don't see what makes our friendship out of to me is, I'm not afraid to call you out. Like, ukisema ufala mimi nakwambia mimi simefanya. Hata kama unanichapa, they do this my trauma. It's true. Like, but also I think part of also what works for us is we have like such an agreement. Like, we just know there's some lines that you know, like, you know.
Hakuna hiyo ni moto. Hataki kukanseliwa.
I don't cancel, but because the person concerned is not here, he doesn't have the chance to be cancelled.
So he closes a lot.
A lot.
Let's leave it to that.
Okay, any other views? Any other views on that?
Okay, you keep on saying this word racist. People don't know what they're
What do you mean?
Where did races come from?
Okay, so one of our friends, James, likes calling people racist. And, you know, he likes saying racist is because, you know, is it because I'm black? And what we have taken that to mean is that you just see the most unfiltered thing that comes into your mind. You know, and unfortunately, more often than not, it usually comes from me.
So
It's like the shadow of an honest man. So,
It started as a thing where I studied in first year, and then he started saying it, and then it just stuck. You know, so so he keeps on saying racist. You guys know what he means.
So friendships have a way of morphing, you know. Like when you were in campus, I'm sure your friendship was mostly around fun times, you know, for instance.
Absolutely.
Then at some point, when you started growing fat, you decided now you need to start playing some football.
No.
You need to start playing some football. What and Malisa to Aliang? Why did you wear those? So you started playing football. Then at some point, people started having families, and now it became something else. What do you think? Or is there an alpha in a friendship who says it's time now to move, or things just happen? Karaoke, this is your question. You can just comment on that. Is it that they morph in themselves, or there's a point where you say, "That's what you jinga"? We are now going to something else.
It's a good thing you asked him that question. They call him chairman.
Chairman, but
Well, I don't think it's said. It's something that is spoken. I think it's like you're all first amongst equals in terms of whatever it is you're doing, but there's some similar journeys, some shared struggles, so shared experiences. Of course, being of a similar age group, having gone to school, and practicing, a majority of us being in the same professional space means that we will mostly have similar challenges. So I think what tends to happen is that part of the friendship is sort of pacing each other. You know, the way in a marathon, because life is in essence a marathon. You know, there's when you have Team Kenya and you have 5 of the marathoners, they keep checking on the pace. You know, is someone or this one?
Is it picking?
No, it can't.
Okay.
Yeah. So when you have a marathon and you know you have five teammates from Kenya, I think it's a similar concept. So that you're facing each other. You're checking. If you're the one who's the most behind on a lap, you're like, hey, I need to catch up with my boys. If you're the one who's the first and you maybe have some tools to share, then you share with them. So I don't think it's spoken, but it's kind of, you know, you keep encouraging one another, and as you move through the different challenges of life, it becomes easier, because if, for example, someone is decides when and if say one of us, like Martin Maitha, decides to take the step the step of becoming a family man, which step he has not taken up to now, and I think maybe some of us have already done so, at least are in relationships or something of that sort. Then he has some people to ask, where do I take this lady for a date? Usually speaking, so I don't think it's a question of spoken, you don't know, let's now do this. We just find that at every stage, for example, myself, James, Paul, and Kibaki are fathers. So we're young fathers. Our children are 2, 1, 3 years old. So we are all experiencing that journey. If one of us joins in the fatherhood journey, then we're able to benefit from the experiences we've had as young fathers. Some of us are starting businesses. So I think it's more in many words, it's that kind of encouraging one another.
Boy.
I think I just share in his sentiments. It's more of all of us are after very different things. All of us are on very different trajectories and very different journeys. And it's looking at each other afresh in every cycle, right? I was this back then. The biggest problem people have generally is that the view, the retain of you is the view of you probably when they met you the first time. And it's really, really hard for that to go away. But I think as friends, then you have that close relationship that enables you to view each of your relationships very differently. If I'm going to Magunga, I'm going to Magunga for ABC. If I'm going to Ken, I'm going to Ken because he's really good at this thing, and I can learn from that, and I can, better myself from that. So really, I think that's how I look at it.
Bro. It's not whether you're picking it, it's like we are picking it. Just tell him. Tell him for a few minutes. Because the place is big. The place is big. The place is huge.
There was no need to argue. You should just come right.
So, I think this question you asked about. So, when no. So you see, the issue about friendships morphing, it's. I don't think anybody ever goes out and says, guys, now we will get married. Guys, here we go. It's this. People. The more as time passes, people grow, people mature, people become different things. There was a time when we were, it was just us. I've been roommates with Oscar and Stemos. Roommates today in campus. We lived together when we finished school. And it was just us. When we were the bachelors of London.
Exile.
And then you grow up, people mature, other minus people getting married and everything. The older you grow, the more you become a bit more, even in yourself. I mean, so nobody ever comes and blows a whistle and says, now it's time for this. And then now when people start getting married, having kids and all those things, I think with friendship you just sort of understand that it is no longer just us, there are other people. So I can no longer look for Oscar at 11 p.m. unless it's really easy, unless you can't wait, I can't do certain things. So there is a particular access to him that I no longer have. And it is just understandable. He's a dad now. If he's unavailable because he's taking care of his family, I mean that's just what it is, and you have to understand that kind of thing. And if you really can't understand that, and there will be times when there will be certain aspects of the relationship that will change because people have grown to become something else, not just with family, even with work. If you can't understand that is always going to be a thing now.
Yeah.
You know, we are no longer in that age when nothing else matters so long as you pay rent. You know, we are no longer in that stage of our friendship, so people are growing into different aspects of themselves, and that's fine. And we always, the key thing here is that we always accommodate one another in everywhere. And friendships will always morph to do that. Okay.
Mike, let's talk about challenges. Yeah?
Yeah.
What challenges do you find in maintaining a friendship over a long period of time?
Well, it's tied to this whole, just discuss like the different changes. Like, I think all of you are really on my case, because maybe you're hapa tu unaishi really only one thing. So one of the challenges, okay, I'll face, but one of the things my brother said, now that naishi Nairobi, I can just wake up and say, hey, twende, people have vibes, and furthermore, not even that, of course I'm mindful of it, but also mindful, because now, if I say twende, tunaamka twende, they look at him funny, and then look at me even more funny. It's like, kwani wewe, tabia yako tu ni kuamka tu asubuhi, mbaba, 30-something-year-old, tunasema twende. But now thing is accommodating. You have to accommodate, and part of the things with friendship is situation and compromise. You realize that human beings are different, not just even circumstances, but even personality-wise. Like, there's some things I might say that, like, part of what you call maturity and wisdom is, knowing what to say and how to say it. Like, for example, yes, I may be on this journey by myself, but people are family men. I may not mind with that idea right now. I'm not going to come and say, what are you doing with your life? It's not something you say because it's a core value about you. So you just say, like, yeah, I respect your decision. It may not be mine, and I may not like with it, but you being my friend, having accepted it, you being my friend, having made the decision, I will accept it. And I will find a way to work around it.
Let me throw a spanner in the works.
Yes.
It's a challenge. Maybe not tied down to our friendship. But I think we've gotten to a point in our careers where we've become experts in the fields that we practice in. Right? I think everyone who's here. It gets to a point where you get to, should I call it a glass ceiling? At some point, very young, whereby I don't have another person to call on this matter. If, for example, with you, when it comes to M&As, you feel a point where you're stuck, but you don't have a friend to call. You get me? So the times I call James, we are stuck together, matters IP. And then no one knows how to go beyond that. You don't have someone to call because the someone to call probably does not have an idea of that. So that's also another challenge I look at.
It's
No, it's a bad challenge.
okay, it's a
Let's
bad
supposed to be smooth.
Nothing is bad, it's a bad challenge because at the end of the day, it's good for you to get to that challenge so that the two of you can push yourselves to see how can we get a solution for this. At the end of the day, Maisha.
Find better friends.
Anyway, back to the issue on the challenges we face in terms of friendship. I think the biggest challenge is that transition, the different seasons people go through. Because in one season, maybe someone is thriving in a certain part of their life, the other one is not thriving. Maybe someone has been wishing to get a certain thing, maybe for women, someone has been waiting for marriage or a baby, and my close friend has gotten that. So how mature are we, and how are we in terms of understanding each other and just being there for each other despite the seasons, despite the changes we go through, despite the transitions, you know. So those are some of the challenges we get. Because to some point, it will feel that you lose friendships through marriages. The people who get married, of course, it's a different thing altogether. They have to commit family, and so they're not accessible to piga sherehe or to be there and have a good time with you. Other things, it could be other people travel. For me, I've not really lost friendships. I try to sustain them, you know. I have had friends who've gotten different careers out of the jurisdiction in Kenya. You know, we still have to maintain the friendship despite the distance, you know. So challenges are many, but I think the biggest one would be that the transitions and the different seasons. And the Christian in me would think that even in the Bible, it tells us there are seasons there are times for everything. A time to reap, a time to. So even in friendships, then we have a time for this friendship and then another time. So how I deal with that is you just let some flow. You go with the flow in that. If someone needs time, give them time. And then when they're ready, they'll still rebuild the friendship and catch up. Yes.
You guys don't struggle with time. You don't.
Time how?
Time.
Definitely.
You have enough time.
Availability.
How? You only have to. Am I the only person who's struggling with time?
No. Actually, between Mutua and I, between Mutua and I, there are so many shows we plan, and then something comes up, and I won't make it, so he has to do them alone. I've also done, I think, one show alone. So there are times when you will not have the time, especially to commit a certain gap of time on something. So I guess that's also a challenge, you know. Like, especially when we were building our careers, like, since we used to work horses, so you find somebody came in the morning and is leaving almost the next day. There was no time for friendship. So you had to be very intentional and find, and then maybe at the point at which you would want to find someone, then they are also not available on the side. So time is a challenge in my opinion.
There are times of pull all-nighters. Because a certain transaction has to happen. And then the following day, these guys are telling us, hey, Nyaji, we're going to go to Red Hill for go-karting. Okay, guys, I want to go, but I can't. And then when you pull that twice, and then you're like, like, I've really struggled with time.
You know, communicate.
Yeah, when you communicate once, twice.
No, you say you can't make it, but you don't say the word. Someone will say, okay, I'm not left. So
That means
and communicate number two, I will make it up to you. Just don't say with my mother
Just to contribute more, you know, early communication is very important. Let us use a live example. You called all of us, Christopher, and he told you earlier that I have an engagement elsewhere. You know, that is important, and you can't fault him for that, because you know he always shows up when he needs to show up. And then, so that's where I come back to my earlier point of consistency. You know, this guy will be here if he had the ability to show up. So for me, it's early communication and also just being intentional about it. You have to create time for some of these things. For the seven of us, he's always in charge and he will tell us, you guys, we need to meet next month. So you have a notice of 30 days. You plan, organize, and then when the date comes, you should be there. If you are not able to make it, then you communicate. Yes.
Okay, with your permission, I have another spanner since we are throwing spanners here and there.
everybody came with one.
How many more left?
Dynamic challenges. Talking about challenges, group friendships have challenges. We have the different personalities. So does that also have a bearing when it comes to maintaining relationships? Because in my group friendships, we've lost some friends in those groups because of the different personalities. Utapata, in this group, really walikuwa beef. So, hiyo beef imefanya some people have said wamejitoa, you know. So have any of you or in this group, have we experienced that, and how do we, you know, navigate through that personality as a challenge in friendship?
No, me, I think having diversity in a group is the best thing. But if you are like all of us are the same, we are boring, a boring group.
Yeah. But before people
But
contribute,
see, that's not what her question is. Her question is whether this diversity has infiltrated into our friendships and led to a kind of strife. Yes.
and also, I think we should now be getting to the end. So we'll just invite. I'm just throwing in something there, and then we can all say parting shots and stuff like that. But like personally, when I'm in my friendships and I'm going through something very hard for myself, the one thing I do is I just
Disappear.
disappear. So I'll show up like at some point, maybe 2-3 months down the line, but after I've figured out what's going on, and after I've developed the strength I needed to come back. So as you're answering what, okay, I don't know if it was a question, as you're commenting, when is it the right time for friends to come and pull you out of a stinker? Just you know, and if you have someone in this group who is the same way, like if there are instances where you've had to go for them, then you can just talk about how that happened. Maybe you can start with Boya.
Yeah, I think that's really interesting because I also really love to be very self-sufficient, right? So if I'm in trouble, I'm getting myself out of this trouble.
Yeah.
Like I'm not bringing anyone in this mess. It's a mess and I'm getting myself out of it. But usually the thing that I've seen work for me is that I want to go the whole journey alone, but I want to know at the back of my mind that I have this group of people that are on the sidelines. Probably they're not aware of what's going on, but they've shown me a lot of consistency that if something happens and they observe that probably I'm falling off, they can swiftly come in and provide that support. But naturally, I want to go through the whole thing by myself. And then I think on the friendship thing for me is, I don't think I have any large group of friends. It's around different circles, right? So I have a group of friends that I grew up with. I have a group of friends that I met in high school, a group of friends from university, then a group of friends from work. So barely do we get everyone in one place all the time. So at least then the dynamics are very different for each of those, settings. I think that really works for how I get the friendship.
Bob?
Wow. I don't know whether to start with with her question on difference in personality. For me, one of the biggest things in friendship is to appreciate each other's weaknesses. So once I understand that, it is very difficult for me to get to a point where your personality creates a difference between us and another person. So that is very important. And you really need to, the way I deal with things is, I try to understand you. I really try to see where are you coming from, why are you acting in such a manner, and what can I do? And basically, I'll just sit, listen, observe, and from there, I'll be able to know how to deal with you so that we avoid some of these strikes. Amongst the 7 of us, I don't think we have ever gotten to a situation where there is a difference between 2 people, and so it spills over to the rest of the group. I don't think it has ever, especially for the men, it's very, for the ladies maybe, but for the men, I don't think that happens. I am yet to see it amongst us, and then the rest is over there. I can see my hand, the rest is over there. He will always call you out. Magunga can call you out, any one of us, by the way, we call each other out. If it is bullshit, it is what it is. And we will tell you, you need to style up. So you take it the way you want to take it. But first of all, we will make you feel we care about you. So stop the bullshit and do the right thing. Yeah, so that's what I was saying.
Mr. Karaoke.
I think I'd mentioned there is the benefit of having different personalities within the group. So people tend to have different arrangements. So the depth and proximity of the friendships within the group, you find 2 people have a deeper connection than others. So I think that sometimes helps even in conflict resolution. So you know where 2 people have a strained relationship, who amongst yourselves is able to mediate, or who do you send to talk to this person? And so I think we've had a few. Maybe we didn't tell Bob. I didn't know. They were small flames that were put off
Quickly,
quickly.
Yeah.
But I think that how we have been able to resolve them is just ensuring that they don't blow up to now affect everyone in the group, and people have to take sides. Just solving them at that level and ensuring that people understand that the common group of the bigger group is more important. What was the other question?
Yeah, let Magunga handle that. Because at least you have some good points on that question. Yeah.
That's the question about
When do you know to come in, even when someone wants
here's
to
the thing,
space? Yeah.
when Moya spoke about it, I immediately related. So if there is one person in our group who will not really tell you what's going on, I'll just go yeah. Yeah. But I think it's gotten to a point where with my friends, they just know that about that, you know, so they will be there. So exactly what you said, you know. So for me, I will go there, and then I will try and go handle that, and go in my head for a while. But at the back of my mind, I know if in case of anything, I can always just make the call. You know, I can always just make the call. And for some of us, it's always for if we see this is happening, people will always reach out and like extend the hand and let you know that listen, you do whatever you have to do. Yeah, figure it out. But if you need anything, just reach out. Yeah.
And the rest is
Wow. These are tough because I understand the need to go, but for me, I really see asking for help is the greatest strength anyone can. Because to me, I think self-awareness is the biggest gift you can have. At some point, there's no point in going back and defeat a book or yet you know yourself. There's no way out. Then if you maybe ask for help earlier, he or she. But also self-awareness also extends the other way, which is you know, there's only so much a group of friends can do. The first step is for you to realize that listen, I need help. I am willing to be helped. Are you willing to help me? And I think a lot of times that self-awareness of realizing I am in a problem and I need help. Because yes, you may be in that going there and yet when people reach out and say, I'm fine. I don't need any help. Yet you can all say like, you know, it's obvious. I mean, you can see your floundering. Someone is extending their hand, but you're not really allowed to reach out to people. I think for me, that would be the more important. Not seeking help, not when to seek help, but accepting that you need help in the first place.
You know, this. I know this is going to be. Sorry to be back. I just remember something when you were speaking. So, you see the way we said in our group, we have different people and different personalities. They're not all the same. What I came to realize is that you might be expecting help, but probably either not the help that this person needs or the approach in which you are offering this help is the wrong one for this person. I am a very practical person. No, I see you are having this problem. The way I know to solve it is this way. So me, what I will offer you is this. No. And I'm usually very like black and white.
Yes.
So I'm usually very black and white. You're having this problem. Okay? This is the way to fix this problem. take this solution. You get almost prescribing it like a doctor would prescribe for
Dr. Madunga.
Yeah. But growing up means realizing that you need some gray areas. You need to provide some room for flexibility. Some of these problems in life cannot be solved in this cut and dry kind of way. So you need to also extend grace to the person you are offering help to and understand that, yes, this is the way, but that's not how they are seeing the situation. Or maybe there are extenuating circumstances, or there are factors that will be hindering them from doing what you want. And it's okay for you to offer help and have it be rejected because it is not being offered in the way that they need for their particular problem. Yeah. So that also comes in the so there are situations where it is me who will come to for that. You know the way we were saying actually we have different friends for different needs. It's not that if you let's say you're having a financial problem that only one person in our group can help you, or a marital problem, or a problem with your work. Yeah. It's not just one person can help you. It's that the person who you will go to is the person who you know can understand you and appreciate the situation better. Yeah, because all of us are capable of offering help. But me and Maita, we are very
Cut from the same cloth.
we are very prescriptive. Hiyo shida yako But if you go to chess, if you go to Kibaki, or you go to even Ball, but Ball is kind of like us. Chess and Maita, chess and Kibaki are more. You know, that's why we call it chess chama. Because atabit everyone at their need.
How does that make you feel?
Chairman.
J.O., your last sentiment.
On the question,
On the
when to
question,
pull.
and also your sentiment.
So I
your
think
sentiment.
when to pull this person, when to know it's the time to pull them from their hibernation, it depends. Because here we're talking about knowing people, 14 years, 7 years, 1 year, or whichever time. Having known your friends for that period, you know how you behave to them. So you normally know how they tend to behave. So when you know the hibernated and normally they require time, you just give them their space. And then at the right time, you'll approach them. And I'll also give my personal behavior. I think we share the same problem in terms of hibernating. When personally I also hibernate when I'm facing problems or my own challenges, and I just need a time. So through my friendships and my best friends, my close friends, they know because they've known me over the years. So whenever they're trying to reach out, offer that help, whether it will be accepted or not, there's a language, there's just that word. If I tell them time out, they will know I need my space. When I'm ready, I will come out. So it just depends on how you know each other and how you do it.
Guys, this has been an amazing show. I just thought at some point we were going to have this conversation. We've seen each other grow. We've seen each other from fresh from high school, fresh from our fathers and mothers' houses. We've grown into be men and women, brought people into this world. And for me, this episode had to come out at some point, and I said, look, there's no better people than to call my close friends, the guys I've known for 10 plus years, guys I've known for 7 plus years. And I honestly can't thank you more than, I don't know how to say. This episode was supposed to be here early in the morning. It woke up, Nairobi was raining heavily. I thought we were going to cancel this show. And then I called, everyone's like, no, my guy, we're going to show up. And I don't know how to say thank you. Thank you so much. And I hope this episode is going to impact someone who's going to watch this show. whether a struggling lawyer, whether a struggling creative, whether it's a normal person who's going to come across this episode. I really appreciate you. There's no better time to end this episode because you can have the stories for days and to no end. Thank you so much for coming through. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Tumeruka
for
nje,
having us.
kwisha. Angalia kwenye kamera mseme wa kile quick one. Oh, hold on. Before I end the episode, this is what you do for your friends. One of our friends has something to say. Josephine, look at the camera and say.
So thank you so much, Ken, for friendship. And I must also say, I've had a good time with this podcast. And I also hope that as professionals, as colleagues, and even to any other person watching this, we'll be able to learn something about friendship. So what I need to quickly say is that Josephine Oyombe is my name. I'm vying for the position of Vice Chair at the LSK Nairobi branch. I have had the experience because I've served as a council member, and so I'm seeking for a promotion to serve you as a Vice Chair. The needs at the council right now are finances. I've had a track record on that, and so if you vote for me, it means you have someone who will deliver. And so I'm counting on you, and I'm really, really seeking for your support from you. So thank you so much, Ken, and Johnson for that chance, and the friends here.
Okay.
So all of you guys look at the camera and say, okay, quick one.
One.
Quick one.
But never quick.
Why not?